think of you, and the only person that really matters what you think of you is yourself. We get so worried about doing any of this stuff, creating content or showing up as our most authentic self and speaking our truth because of trauma from the past. And I'm here to tell you that you have to let go of it. And ways that we can start to let go of it is by doing things like this, things that you're scared and uncomfortable doing. So it looks like showing up on camera when you're uncomfortable, showing up on camera. And realize that it's not that big of a deal. Like, none of it's that big of a deal. If you get 100 negative comments that all say, like, you are an idiot, who cares? Like, really, who cares? They are not you. It's not their life. It's your life. And if you don't show up for your life, then who's going to show up for it? No one. You need to understand that you matter more than anything else in the entire universe. And I struggle a lot with that. But I tell myself that every day because it helps me show up for myself. And if we don't show up for ourselves, no one else is going to show up for us. And if people are making fun of you, or people are giving you a hard time about the way you look or the way you talk or the way you do this, that, and the other thing, they're people that are far behind you. They're far behind you, and they're just jealous, and they're just scared themselves. They want to show up too, but they don't know how. So, if you happen to come across this video and the millions of videos that go out on YouTube every day, I just wanted to get on here and encourage you to go out and do the thing, even if you're scared. And I know it's hard. I know it's uncomfortable, and you feel all the judgment, and you have the judgment of yourself, and you have all these voices in your head that are like, no, you're an idiot. Don't do this. You're stupid. Blah, blah, blah. All these people are going to say this, and that person's going to say another thing. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter what they think. It really doesn't. It only matters what you think at the end of the day. Growing up, it was always like, oh, it doesn't matter what people think. It matters what God thinks. And I think there's some truth to that, right? But at the same time, it was like, well, what God thinks of me is I am a sinner, and I am wicked, and I am this, and I am that. And then I started to look at myself through the lens of Christ, right? And I realized, oh, wow, he sees me completely differently, right? He loves me. He died for me. Like, that's a different energy than I'm nothing. And my whole life, that's what I was going off of, this nothingness. And I can probably guarantee you that if you're struggling with showing up, there's a part of you that feels like you don't deserve it. There's a part of you that feels like you're nothing. There's a part of you that feels like, oh, that's for someone else. Someone else can be popular. Someone else can have YouTube videos. Somebody else can have a business. You can too. You can too. One of my friends, he has a podcast that's literally called You Can Too. And he talks about this thing. He shows, like, he's trying to show people that it's like, hey, just because you're too young, or you feel like you're too stupid, or you feel like this, that, and the other thing, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to have a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. If you want to have a business, start a business. It's never been easier. It's never been easier because we have things like AI that can help you literally give you a step. Just type in the prompt, the free one. Doesn't even matter. I'd like to start this kind of business. What do you think of this? Tell you what it thinks of it. What does it look like as far as a market fit? Do you think it'll be there? It'll tell you what it thinks about it. Okay, great. How do I start it? It'll tell you all the different structures you can do. It has never been easier than today, than right now. So it's just like, do the thing. You've only, as far as we know, you've only got this one life. You're here right now in this human experience as you, as this person that's on the other side of this screen watching this thing. You're you. And we don't know anything past our own experience. So it's like, you're here. Do the thing that you want to do. Do the thing that you want to do. And I get pushback from that a lot when I say, oh, you got to do what you want to do. Well, don't people want to do something bad? Doesn't that mean people are going to go out and they're going to rob a store and they're going to be a mean person, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? I don't mean that. That's not coming from a place of love. That's not coming from a place of enoughness. That's coming from a place of scarcity. So if you're doing that, if that's the thing you naturally want to do, that's a way for you to explore, right? It's like, okay, my natural inclination is to do this bad thing. Okay, well, why is that? Why do I want to do that bad thing? Most likely it's because you don't feel like you're loved and enough and you're seen, and you're trying to show yourself, higher self, whatever you want to call it, you're trying to show yourself that you're enough, that you're worth something. And then you act out in these destructive ways because you don't feel like you're loved and you're enough. But when you show up with that energy that you're loved and enough, that energy is expansive, and that's completely different. That's completely different. You know, something that I saw one of my friends post the other day, he was like, something about, oh, you got to set high standards for yourself. And what I realized is like, okay, I don't disagree with that entirely, but what I do disagree with is when you're setting high standards for yourself out of a place of lack, out of a place of I'm not enough, so therefore I have to work out, I have to get a six-pack, I have to have a ton of money, I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. Well, guess what? You're setting yourself up for failure, because when you reach that six-pack, I've done it before, when you reach that money, I've done it before, when you reach those things, you're still going to feel empty. You're still going to feel like there's something missing. So what do? Naturally, you chase more of that because you're like, maybe if I get more. That's why you see all these successful people, they continue to get more and chase more and more and more. And it's still not enough. And it's not a bad thing to go after money. It's not a bad thing to go after fame. If you want that, just go for it. I'm saying go for it. Do it. But try to come at it from a place of love and enoughness. Like, hey, I'm doing this because I deserve it. And like, that's it. That's it. It's it. It's as simple as that. It's the opposite of expansion. It's not constricting you. It's not constrictive energy, right? So anyway, I haven't posted a video on here in a while. I got really burnt out. I did this challenge that I guess I failed at. And in a lot of ways talking about it feels embarrassing, but it's like, you know, I did 80 posts and I feel pretty good about it. And I just like, I don't know the purpose of it, I guess. I don't know really what I'm doing, but I've heard too many times, like too many people have come up to me recently and been like, hey man, one, your video, your post, you're this, you're that. And I don't feel like anybody, I don't have any followers. I don't have anything, but what I do have is the belief and the understanding that you are enough. And if I just get on here and just tell you that you're enough and that you can do anything and that you can accomplish anything and whatever you set your mind to, you can have, then I've done something. Anyway, that's today's video. Got a Slate milk here. If you don't know what Slate milk is and you like lifting and stuff, it's great. It's great. 20 grams of protein, 100 calories. There you go. Fueling love. Slate fueling love. Anyway, have an amazing day wherever you are. I hope that you know that you are loved and enough. There's a lot of days that I don't feel that I don't think that, but I continue to do things, practices, and use tools to help myself get out of this. Because sometimes we just get stuck in this. We just get stuck in this mind. We just get stuck in this brain, and you don't have to get stuck there. You don't have to stay there. You can feel better. You can have a better life. I promise. I know it's there and it's available to you. I've experienced that, and there's ups and downs. Life is ups and downs, but that's life, right? If you can experience kind of this level-headedness during those ups and downs, that's where you actually want to be. It's not about pure joy and pure happiness all the time, but it's about feeling level-headed at all moments and nothing really riles you. And it's not because you've suppressed anything. And if you actually feel the feelings, and when you need to cry, you cry, and when you need to scream, you scream. That's okay. But I just wanted you to know that you are enough and you're doing a great job. We're all just floating on this rock through space, and we're all just trying to figure it out. No one really has the answer. No one really knows. So you might as well try to enjoy the time you're here. Whether you're here for 100 years, even if we get to the point where we're here for 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, it'll still feel like a short time. It'll still feel like a short time. That's the spiel. That's all I'm saying today. I don't know what I said, but hopefully there was one or two good nuggets in there. I don't know. I don't like to ask for subscribers, but if this message resonated, feel free to subscribe and like. And I like that kind of thing will give me fuel to keep doing this. And then also, you know, if any of these messages resonated, of course, share that with me. And anyway, I hope to hear from you. Have an awesome day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and realize that you are loved and enough as you are.